Hello, and welcome to Make Michael Suffer. Today we watch Robo Vampire, which I believe is the secret sequel to RoboCop. Well, I'm really excited to see the Robo Warrior blast away some vampires, and with a title screen like this, you know it's gonna be great. So one of the first things you'll notice in Robo Vampire is that whenever the vampires are on screen, they're just hopping everywhere. And it's not just that they hop to move places, they also hop in all of the fights. Now you're probably wondering what kind of movie Robo Vampire is. I guess I would consider it a martial arts movie, and it has some amazing action scenes. And don't worry, there are plenty of martial arts classics that are incorporated. And, I mean, what is a movie without a good eye gouge scene? I feel like it's a must in a martial arts film, right? A bit into the movie, we get to see our Robo Warrior, and he arrives after quite possibly the quickest decision to do a major medical procedure ever, especially an experimental one.
I would appreciate your approving my application.
Are you assured of success? All right, your application's approved.
And Robo Warrior is oh so clearly made of metal. So later in the movie, of course, you get to see Robo Warrior fight, and while sometimes he's very effective, other times he just goes full stormtrooper. And even at one point, he's cornered and he ends up being destroyed and exploding in quite possibly the most beautiful way possible. And if you're worried about Robo Warrior at this point, don't be, because he gets extracted somehow. It's not shown on screen, even though he's surrounded by all these bad guys. He's saved. It's fine. And he recovers for other great moments later in the film. Now, don't worry. It's not just your typical action scenes that Robo Vampire has. It also has quite possibly the best crotch burn in movie history. Along with the worst stunt double I think I've ever seen. And there are some good points, although my bar is quite low at this point, but I would say that this is probably the coolest scene in the movie. And Robo Vampire also has a great plot, and by great plot I mean it is convoluted as hell. There are, first of all, like 3 drug lords, there's a Taoist priest, there's this guy with the long hair, and then there's this other dude. Not really sure how they're intertwined. I'm not sure if the movie does either, but it's just very confusing. I'm still not sure who's in charge. Additionally, Robo Vampire has quite possibly the most bizarre subplot I've seen in any movie recently, at least. And that is that there is this ghost who is a former lover of the vampire beast. And she's come back with a vengeance against the Taoist priest because her lover was turned into a vampire beast. By the way, the vampire beast is just one of the vampires, but with a gorilla mask on.
Peter, I'll still love you forever.
So, how does the Taoist priest, the drug lord Taoist priest, rectify the situation? He decides that he needs both the ghost and the vampire beast, so he decides to marry them. And it takes about 40 minutes for the film to come back to the marriage between the two of them. And when they do get married, Robo Warrior ends up interrupting their sex.
Don't kill us, we love each other. You can kill us, but wait till our love's consummated.
He gets very sentimental and lets them finish, and then he gets toilet paper attacked. So now, going back to how convoluted the plot is, there's really like 2 main stories going on. The first of which is that there's like this local and international anti-drug group that is fighting against one of the drug lords and is also trying to rescue this blonde chick. So that ends up getting resolved by them blowing up the compound and rescuing the girl, and the entire time they do that, there are no vampires present. Now, the other plot is about Robo Warrior fighting against the Taoist priest and his army of vampires, And this all leads up to a final fight with the vampire beast, but before it can begin, the vampire beast decides to go around startling couples for unknown reasons. Also, before the final fight can conclude, the ghost comes back and kills the Taoist priest, I guess in an act of vengeance. I suppose the wedding wasn't filled with the marital bliss that she was hoping for. And now for the final fight between Vampire Beast and Robo Warrior. Robo Warrior is able to fend off the super weak Roman candle attacks that the Vampire Beast has, and then he finishes him off by roasting him. Now, where does the movie go from there? It legitimately ends 30 seconds later. There's no real resolution. I guess the resolution is that the bad guys are dead? I don't know. So that's the movie, and I honestly don't know how I feel. But there are a couple other just general bad things about Robo Vampire. It has a horrifically bad dub, as you would expect, bad editing.
What took you so long?
And some pretty rubbery special effects. Okay, so Robo Vampire overall, what a fantastic feat of martial arts cinema. So, I would say that there are some good deaths in it, and there are some legitimately entertaining scenes, but really, a lot of the scenes were just like very generic fights, and the plot was so convoluted I really couldn't follow it. So, on the suffer meter, I'd give it probably an 8.5 out of 10. And for overall score on entertainment, I would give it 1 trampoline out of 5 pogo sticks in honor of those hopping vampires. And next, fate has finally decided that it is ready for Neil Breen's fateful findings. So be ready for that next time on Make Michael Suffer.